Hi everyone, I'm Carlos, I'm a math teacher, I'm a Brazilian, I have a similar channel in Portuguese, my mother tongue is Portuguese, then I'd like to apologize that by some errors, I'm going to make errors, and I'm practicing English yet, but I'd like to share some ideas with you about math, okay? Let's go talk about today proportion. Let's go. We're going to talk about proportion, but I choose a team. Now you can see the team class here. Let's go. How does this information related? How does this information related? It's a team that I'm going to clarify to you again in the next slide. I'm going to talk about proportion between informations. Let's go. Now, in this slide, I have a simple example. Maybe you could say that it's a very simple, very obvious example, but it's important to think about this example, thinking after comparing this kind of example with the next one, okay? Here we have the situation about ice creams. We have some information that are very clear. If you buy one ice cream and you pay $2, for example, if you buy two, you are going to pay $4, and if you buy 3 ice creams, you are going to pay $6. What are you realizing? Did you notice some pattern? For example, here the price is increasing, and in the same time the quantities of ice cream is increasing in the same time, right? But we have enough information to conclude that these informations are proportional? What do you think about? We are in the way that we can conclude, but what more about we need to analyze? Let's go. You can see now, you know that you need to do some tests. What kind of tests? You need to do some divisions between the quantities and the prices. For example, one ice cream, you are going to pay $2. Two ice creams, you are going to pay $4. And the 3 ice creams, you are going to pay $6. Okay? What is the result? Here we have the same result. We have a constant value, 2. This ratio or these fractions that we have the same value in the end, this show us that we have a proportion between the values, between the informations, okay? If the informations increase in the same time, but you don't have this kind of proportion, this kind of ratio, the division between two values, this kind of fractions, you don't have the same value, you don't have a proportion between the informations. And in this case, I can see that we have informations that are proportional, and in this case is directly proportional, because as one information increase, another one increase also, okay? In this case, we have directly proportional informations. Let's go to the next example. To clarify more details about that, we're going to talk a little bit more about proportional, and after that I'm going to talk about an example that they aren't proportional, okay? Here we have just more one question to figure out about, okay, you can emphasize the information. I'm going to highlight the question for you here. We have, are you noticing? What are you noticing in this case? Let's go. We have, just a second. Sorry. You can see this, sorry, just a second. Here we have the first conclusion. In this slide you can see the key point about directly proportional. Okay, you can see here, just a second, I'm going to highlight here. So we can conclude, as the amount of ice cream increase, the amount paid also increase, and they are in some pattern. What kind of pattern? We have a ratio as we saw in the previous slide, okay? There are a constant, sorry, here 3, constant value when I do the divisions between the informations, okay? These are the conclusion about directly proportional informations. Here we have a new situation. The first question, what do you think about the situation? Are they proportional, the information in this problem, this situation? You can see, I'm going to highlight here to use some details. Now, thinking of the following situation, okay? You will travel to a city that is 200 kilometers away, or we can consider in miles. In miles, it would be about 125 miles, okay? But we are going to consider in kilometers. If you go at 50 kilometers per hour, you can spend 4 hours. The distance between two cities. You can complete the trip in 4 hours, okay? If you go at 100 kilometers per hour, you will spend 2 hours. If you go absurd at 200 kilometers per hour, you will spend 1 hour. What did you notice here? What the pattern? There is a pattern. Well, in this situation, you can see that we have two kinds of information, distance and the speed. You can see with this first speed, 50 kilometers per hour, you will spend 4 hours. The second speed, 100 kilometers per hour, you will spend 2 hours. With 200 kilometers per hour, you will spend 1 hour. What did you notice here? As one information increase the speed, the another information distance decrease, okay? But is it enough to conclude that they are they indirectly proportional? Because one information increase, another one decrease, okay? What did you notice? Are there some pattern? Let's go. Let's go to see. The first, sorry, not this, I'm going to here. The first speed, 50 kilometers per hour during 4 hours produces how much if I multiply these values? 200. The second speed, 100 kilometers per hour times 2 hours, the duration, trip's duration, we have 200. My outcome in this case is 200. The last one, 200 kilometers per hour. I'm going to trip for, sorry, this times, here I'm writing X, sorry, by the arrow. I'm going to spend 1 hour. 100 times 1 hour, again, what is the outcome? We have, in this case, 200 again, okay? Are you seeing some pattern? Obviously, that you are seeing a pattern all the times when I did these multiplications between two informations, speed versus duration, we get the same value in the end, okay? If both informations, we have some first details like we see here, for example, if one information increase, another one decrease, it's a sign in the way that probably it could be indirectly proportional, but I need to do the verification. What is the key point? The key point is the test that we did now. We did the multiplications between the informations and we got the same value as the result, okay? It's very important to find this kind of pattern, okay? Let's go. Let's go. We are going to review the ideas. We have some pattern here. You can see in this slide, as speed increases, what happens to the time spent traveling? As the speed increases, time decreases, got it? We realize that we can see these informations, but the key question is it enough? Can we conclude that I have indirectly proportional between the speed and the time spent traveling, because one information increase, another one decrease, it's enough? No, we need to test, and we did this test in the last slide. We did the multiplications between the informations. What was the result? We got the same result in the multiplications, the fixed value, the constant value equal to 200, okay? Got it? It's very important to think about that. If one information increase, another one decrease, is it enough to conclude that I have the inversely proportional informations? It's a tip, it's a clue in this way, but you need to analyze if there is a pattern. What kind of pattern? The multiplication between the values, you need to get the constant value, okay? Let's go. Let's move on to the next slide. Now we have an important question that is very helpful in this way that you can to get the right conclusions, to achieve right conclusions in your analysis. This question is so important, but can one amount increase and the other two without obeying a fixed standard? And in this case, are they proportional? What do you think about? Is it possible you realize that the amount increase, another one increase also, and are they proportional, or one increase, another one decrease? Are they proportional? What we can we conclude in this case? Let's move on to the next slide. And then the last example. Here we have the last example. It's a very important example because we are going to analyze if are they proportional. In this case, we are going to see the difference between this last one and the first examples. We have here amount, we have total to pay, we have the situation. A store offers a product for $50, but as a sales strategy, works with progressive discounts as consumers buy more. See offer table above. We have offer table here. If you buy just one, you are going to pay 50. If you buy two, you are going to pay 70. If you buy three, you are going to pay 100 in the total. If you buy four, you are going to pay 120 in total. Okay. What did you notice? Here, the amount, what's happened, is increasing, and here the total to pay is increasing also, but are they proportional? Let's go to do the test, okay? Let's go to do the test. In this case, the amount is increasing, the total to pay is increasing also. What kind of test we need to do? We need to do the multiplication or division. What are you thinking about? What do you think about? We notice that the both information are increasing. In this case, we are going to test if they are what kind of proportional? Directly proportional. I'm going to try to do the division between the values. The first value here, 50, divided by 1. The second, 7, divided by 2. The third, in this case, we can stop in the first two. The two fractions, it's enough because you can divide it here. You can see that 50 divided by 1 is equal 50, and 70 divided by 2 is equal 35. In this case, they are different. We don't have a constant value as a result of the divisions. We don't have a ratio, a fraction, a value constant between the informations when we did the divisions. These tests show us that we don't have proportional informations. These kind of informations aren't proportional, okay? Because as one information increase, another one increase also, but in the end, the division between the informations aren't a constant value. It's a key point. You need to do this kind of test. If you think as one information is increasing, another one is increasing, it's enough to conclude it's directly proportional, you are going to make a mistake, because the informations can follow this kind of pattern, and the one is increased, another one also, but in the end they don't have a constant value between them in the result. When we do the test, we need to do the test, we need to see if the divisions between the informations has a constant value as outcome. Okay, in this case it's so important to see this kind of example, because you can notice that we don't have proportional informations. What is our conclusion in this case? Let's go to see our conclusion. We saw the examples in the previous slides, and we can conclude if both quantities increase and the ratio between them is constant, we have directly proportional quantities. If as one quantity increases, the other decreases, and the product between them is a fixed number, then we have inversely proportional quantities. Did you notice this kind of conclusion? You need to do the test. If you note that one quantity increase, another one also, you need to do the division and to test if the ratio, the division between the informations is constant value, and you need to test if you have noticed that as one information increase, another one decrease, you need to do another test. You need to do the multiplications, you need to multiply the informations, and you need to get a constant value also. Okay, without this kind of test you don't need to conclude exactly, because you can think that the informations are proportional because one are increased, another one also. You can conclude that they are proportional, direct and proportional information, but in the end you don't need the test, don't do the test, and you are wrong in this case. Okay, it's very important, as we did in the previous slides. You need to test if there is a constant value or ratio in the division, in the first case direct to proportional informations, or in the multiplication, the result, you need to get a constant value when you are multiplying the informations. If you are testing if this kind of information are inversely proportional quantities. Okay, thank you very much for your audience. It's a first video in this new channel. Sorry by my errors in English. I'm trying to improve my English. Thank you very much. I appreciate your audience. Thank you. Bye bye. Now here just to last warning. This is an invite. You are invited to subscribe to channel. The name of this channel probably you're going to be mesma and click, but you can suggest another name to this channel because it's a new channel. But I'm going to appreciate if you subscribe in this channel. Thanks so much. Bye bye.